Hello, love. Welcome home to Eden. This is Eve Christoph, your Love Life Muse. So stick with me, honey, for the hottest news. I'm talking about a Divine Feminine Passion Course. Wow, so what's that? Well, we women, we need to come on, step it up for our own pleasure, And I see that there's a lot of content out there to help women get the guy. But what about when she's already got the guy and she's kind of like, wow, whatever happened to happily ever after? I'm already bored. It's plateaued. I love this guy. I'm not going to get a better guy. He's beautiful. He works hard. He loves me. He's kind. He's smart. But I'm not really feeling and fulfilled. I'm not feeling that joy and bliss that I thought I was going to feel in when I got married and I got commitment and all those things women say they want. So this passion course, girlfriend, this is about you getting it on with you and your guy in your committed devotional relationship. At least devotional. Okay, you don't have to be married, but let's say you got somebody. And what about all the hundreds of things they got out there for you for when it goes wrong? They got therapy for you. They got Prozac for you. They've got sex gadgets for you, But what about before it's wrong? What about when it's going great? What about right now being totally in love and being a little concerned for the fact that there's no support for your fun and your joy and your bliss because there's all this emphasis on working, right? And money, and we have it reversed, right? So here we are. If I tell you there's one reason, one thing that gets people to divorce and that plateau thing to happen right after the romance phase, just one thing that causes it all, wouldn't you like to know? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tease you about that. I'm going to tell you right now and invite you also to take a course with me on how to solve this problem. Because that issue is this one simple thing. It's that the priorities of women in a male-dominated world are not even on the table. They're on the back burner somewhere, and we sound like bitches and we sound like witches when we ask for our basic needs to be met. And so we're at this constant deficit in relationship. So the divine feminine doesn't get to show up. Like the divine masculine, we're always thinking, well, maybe I should just get a new guy. I should just get a new guy, right? Because if I get a new guy, I'll get one more passionate or more creative or more sexy, right? But the thing is, the divine masculine, he's not out there. No one's trained him. I mean, there's a few of them, a few gems, and believe me, they're married already. But what calls forth the divine masculine in the guy that you've got right now is your divine feminine being primary to you knowing what that means, you knowing how to articulate that and have the support for your feminine prerogatives, your feminine priorities, your feminine reality to be everything about you and your life. Right now, we have a society of defeminized women because what we've done to survive in a masculine-oriented world with men choosing the politics, choosing the hours of the day that we work, choosing that money is more important than everything. What we have is, imagine, the guys are fishes. They like to work a lot. They like to do things in a linear way. They like to be really organized and systemic, have systems, and they like to be logical, and they like to be physical, and in this way that's really yang and out there and loud, and they like to just hang out and put their boots up at the end of the day and have guy space and guy time. This is good. I'm not criticizing any of that because look at what the miracles are that the men have created. This Western medicine mainly by men and science mainly by men and buildings and roads. It's incredible what they've accomplished, right? But we have an ecological disaster on our hands where humans are facing possible extinction with climate change problems. And how did we come to this? From hundreds and hundreds of years of completely sublimating the feminine values and needs of the women, just the women in the bedroom, just the women. Think of that right there. Ladies first, like who really does that all the way? Like as much as a woman needs. So this one problem I'm talking about, why you are at this plateau already in your happily ever after, is all about the activation of the feminine or the lack of her. So if you're defeminized and your values aren't even in the picture, the men are swimming in their water of everything they want their way. But women are birds. Imagine if we're birds. We're down in the water. A bird can't survive in the water. The only way we can survive in a masculine world is we got to become a fish. We got to become like him. We just got to join the school of automaton. Fishes swim in little schools that don't think. Like we got to follow the school because this is where we're placed, right? But if you have what you need as a woman, you have the air to breathe that is your feminine power essence that makes you bloom as a rose. This is a very different experience for both of you in a relationship. And what you've received from him becomes a gift because it's different than you, rather than being dominated by his energy and pushed around by all of the agendas that he likes and feeling that all of life has to be about his ideas of what fun is and what accomplishment is and what finances are and what the house should look like. Everything. Houses should be round for women. We want it to be round. The men are like, that's not efficient. You can't build them that fast. Well, maybe the point for the women is not to build it fast. Maybe it's like if you had hay bales in the picture still and adobe, you wouldn't have destroyed the planet by now, because you can use the earth right from where you are and just build it up out of the ground and make it round, There's a lot of things that the men will have to face as our feminine agenda becomes clear and loud, that we actually care about the earth. And we want to save the earth, but we also care just about our relationship. Like, we just want it to be more fun. We want to feel like, instead of money being at the center and work of this diagram of our existence, we need love to be at the center. And now the men are like, wait, that's not okay for us. We got other things we're going to do. No, but you know what, guys? The feminine is more evolved. The feminine in you. I'm not saying women around you are necessarily all smarter than you. I'm just saying the feminine in you is more evolved. And if you're out of touch with her and yourself, you're definitely out of touch with your woman. And you as a woman, if you've made it into achievement and you're making it in a man's world, and you've sacrificed time with your children, and you've sacrificed time with yourself, you've sacrificed care of your body, you've sacrificed dressing beautifully, hundreds and hundreds of things so that you can have that accomplishment in a man's world. Well, what is it worth in the end? Like, why do I even want that? Like, yes, I want to be able to feed my kids. And that's the bottom line. So that's how we get trapped into it, because we need to have a place to live, and the guys may be our landlords and they've already decided how houses look and how it's all done, and we need to take care of our kids. So then we bargain and we compromise, and we have been for hundreds of years actually trapped into a life without feminine values at the center. So you turn around all of life, you keep the masculine values, you keep the feminine values, but you put love at the center for everyone. So that's my first little sermon for you from Goddess Gospel, the Divine Feminine Temple of Love, Eve's Eden. And what I want to invite you to join me on is a experience of really learning what the Divine Feminine priorities are in every domain of life, and how to live from the feminine, how to support the feminine if you're a man, and then how to really allow the masculine to be a sacred thing for you instead of a dominating experience, to really, really feed his agenda. Then once yours is really going strong, you're going to be able to relate with the masculine in a way that is really, really it's very different because it's instead of you being one of the guys, because this is what happens to us, we become one of the guys, and now it's more like we're siblings or friends because we're really not in the polarity of our divine feminine essence. Wow, when you have your feminine essence going, now you have this incredible polarity that is able to happen between the two of you, and you can really love masculine energy. But how do you find out? What does that mean to you? Like, what have you lost in the process of your sacred connection with the divine feminine? And what has religion stolen from you if you're not even allowed to talk about God as a mother, as a woman? And what does that say about everything that you're allowed to say and not say? And what does that say about the power you are allowed to have or not have if God is not also made in your own feminine image? So here I am, Goddess Gospel time. I want you to join me for the Divine Feminine Passion course that I'll be teaching, in which we will help you women who are in a relationship to get to the place where your feminine essence is completely nourished and flourished, and your rose is blooming, and your man knows how to help you do that, and your relationship to the masculine is healed and right and whole, and your way of conveying, of expressing your needs and your truth is full of self-respect, bottom line priorities, that you don't give up your boundaries anymore, but also real openness to the beauty of the masculine, the divine masculine. See, what happened will be, we come into our divine feminine, we call forth the divine masculine in men, because when he feels her in the room, he wakes up. And a different part of him that's much more polite, that's much more responsive, respectful, interested, questioning, connected, he wakes up. The desire to serve wakes up. But it's not his job, darling, to wake up your divine feminine. We've been searching for the right guy to wake up our divine feminine. We keep trying to find a better one who does it better for us, because every once in a while we tap in with some awesome guy to our feminine essence because he's controlling us with love, or he's creating a container with total respectful responsiveness, and we're just like, oh, I feel my divine feminine for a moment, and then suddenly gone again. He's not right, he's not showing up, he's not calling enough, and we've given the power to him as to whether or not we're in our divine feminine. She exists in you, but she does have terms, conditions. She's like a flower that has to have certain food, certain sun, certain water, certain words, certain circumstances to bloom. And if you're surrounded at all times by everything that's anti-feminine and everything that undoes your chance at blooming your rose, of course you never get to know your own divine feminine. So that's what I'm here to do for you, sweetheart. I'm here to show you what that watering the rose is about, what you're going to need to really enter your feminine essence, joy, bliss, find your sexual capacity, your heart joy, 7 chakra connection with man, which creates an 8th chakra of bliss. So yes, couples can join this course too. Men who are interested in great, amazing men who want to be even better lovers to women are probably going to want to take this course too. But really, I'm designing it for you women because, hey, darling, it's about time you have some support for all that feminine joy, wisdom, and bliss you're capable of, and you just haven't been supported. Let's get you to have the tools, the understandings, the awakenings that you can articulate and be supported in your articulation exactly what you need. You as the specific, magical, miraculous goddess that you are. With much love, darling, much love. I welcome you home to Eden with all my heart. So I'm going to put my email address below this video. It's lovelifewitheve@gmail.com. And yeah, email me there, okay? Email me there, and we will start collecting the group of people who's going to take this love adventure with me. Divine Feminine Passion Course. Get ready to pleasure the feminine. I welcome you home to Eden with all my heart.